Solar energy has influenced our lives since time immemorial. The sun has been the reason for our existence and will be there for millions of years more. Harnessing the sun's energy is the only sustainable solution for mankind's future. Gadhia Solar Energy Systems Private Limited, providing solar solutions to the emerging energy needs of our planet. Gadhia Solar was set up by Deepak Gadhia and Dr. Shireen Gadhia on their return to India from Germany. The encouragement to return came from the late Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, whom they met at an NRI convention held in Holland in 1984. The primary objective of Gadhia Solar is to provide innovative and practical solar solutions and fund their NGO, Eco Center, ICNIR, the International Center for Networking, Ecology, Education and Reintegration.
Our Eco Center ICNIR works in the area of environmental awareness, its protection and rejuvenation. When addressing women's groups in rural areas on topics like importance of trees, forests and ecology, the most commonly asked question is, how do we cook without fuel wood? I asked Deepak to help to find a solution.
When Shireen asked me to help solve the rural energy problems, I looked around in India to find out if something existed. And I found that there was a box cooker with which one could cook without using wood. But the problem with box cooker was that one could only boil things and bake things. One could not fry, and it took a lot of time to cook. And I realized that there was a need for a solar cooker where you could cook fast and cook all traditional items. And I remembered a colleague of mine, Dr. Dieter Seifert, in Germany, who had developed a solar cooker which enabled all that. We approached him asking his permission to let us manufacture the cookers in India, and to our happiness, he agreed.
Seifert domestic parabolic solar concentrator achieves about 250 degrees Celsius temperature at the focus, where the cooking vessel is placed. The high temperatures enable faster cooking of all traditional dishes, including frying. It is a novel concept, quite different from the conventional solar box cookers. Gadhia Solar commercialized their cookers in rural India, which faces a major firewood crisis.
Over a period of time, we realized that SK14 solar cooker of Dr. Seifert, even though it enabled to do everything what people expected, would be difficult to market because the people who wanted it could not afford it, and people who could afford it did not want it because it required them to go out in the sun. And thus we approached Dr. Dieter Seifert again, asking if there was any solution to that, and he introduced us to Mr. Wolfgang Scheffler.
Wolfgang Scheffler has developed the Scheffler concentrating cooker, which cooks for 50 persons in the comforts of the kitchen. This technology uses a large parabolic concentrator placed on the south side of the kitchen. The concentrator reflects and concentrates the solar rays onto the blackened cooking vessel. Once adjusted, the system automatically tracks the sun throughout the day. This is yet another novel concept, ideal for community cooking for institutions spending substantial amount on fuel. Gadhia Solar has installed more than 200 community solar cookers across the country.
Initially, the growth was gradual because technology acceptance took its time. The real breakthrough came when Brahma Kumaris of Mount Abu agreed to use solar steam to cook for 1,200 people.
It was a challenge for all of us. 24 solar concentrators were to be installed and integrated with the existing steam cooking system. With the help of Wolfgang Scheffler, Gadhia Solar was successful in implementing the project.
HTT GmbH of Germany provided the technology of transferring the heat into steam, which reached the kitchen.
The success of solar steam cooking system at Brahmakumari of course got us all very excited. The technology was proven and found acceptance, and we realized that one had to go for large numbers, and we were fortunate that many institutions followed suit.
Gadhia Solar's most prestigious project took shape at Tirupati temple. This gigantic cooker with 106 solar concentrators cooks 30,000 meals every day. Pairs of solar dishes in series concentrate the sun rays onto the receivers, which are placed in its focus. Water from the steam header enters the receivers, gets converted to steam, and accumulates in the header. An insulated pipe carries the steam to the kitchen where it is used for cooking. The solar steam system is integrated with the existing boiler, which reduces the fuel consumption by about 50%. Tirupati temple saves about 1.5 million rupees every year, and the temple trust has recovered its investment within 4 years. This is the world's largest solar steam cooking system. Finally, Gadhia Solar could demonstrate in India and to the world that the use of solar energy is practical and economical. After the success of this system, many schools, temples, ashrams, industrial canteens and army messes have installed such solar steam cooking systems.
We are constantly experimenting with new innovative ideas to try out new applications for solar energy. New horizons have opened up. We have been able to export a solar dish to a company in Germany to try out their application for solar photovoltaic, thermovoltaic application, and we expect to export many more.
Gadhia Solar with Wolfgang Scheffler has developed prototypes for desalination of seawater, wastewater evaporation, incineration, cooling, space heating and process heat using solar energy. Thermic fluid has been used to successfully test run a system that can cook and fry even in the evening. Thermic fluid stores the heat at a very high temperature, which can be later used for cooking. Gadhia Solar has indigenized the manufacturing process, and all components are fabricated at its factory. Spread over 2 acres with excellent infrastructure, the facility is ably managed by a team of engineers and workmen. There are facilities for pilot plants and demonstration systems, where new ideas take form. Our infrastructure is available for third-party testing and experimentation. Gadhia Solar offers systems on turnkey basis.
We have been working closely with school children in India and Europe. Ultimately, they are our flag bearers for cleaner, greener environmental movement. They are our future and we have to sensitize them.
A unique project was undertaken wherein school students of Austria used SK14 cookers to prepare cakes, biscuits, breads and soups. The proceeds from the sale of these food products funded about 100 SK14 cookers to Barley Development Institute for Rural Women at Indore. It was a perfect example of North-South cooperation. With funding from NGOs, Intersol and Plager, Municipality of St. Johann, Austrian school children and Eco Center